I just finished loading up my 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser 250 for another weekend of skiing and snowboarding up in Vermont. I'm taking my 2 kids, my wife, and I, so total 4 people in the car. When I first purchased it, some of you said in the comments that this is not a real Land Cruiser. It's not as big as the 200 or 300 series. The 250 is just a Prado, not big enough, not worthy of its name. So today I'm going to show you what it looks like when you load it up for a weekend adventure, when you have a roof box, when you have a pretty decently sized trunk with some cool features. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to start with what's in the box because this is really where a lot of stuff goes. Now, the car is pretty high. It's got these slightly bigger tires, which raise it just a little bit. But how do you reach this box? Well, it's actually quite easy. When you open the door, you've got a couple of options. You've got this step, you also have this step, but you can also step on the tire. So it's actually pretty easy to access the roof if you're not that tall. I am up on top of the roof. I've got my amazing roof box. By the way, we're gonna be arriving at night and this roof box has, check this out, little flashlight so you can see things at night. Pretty ingenious, but anyways, I snowboard, my son snowboards, my wife and my daughter both ski. So we've got all the equipment here. I've got my snowboard here, my wife skis, ski poles, my daughter skis, and this cute little snowboard. In the front, in the cavity, I usually use an IKEA bag for sort of loose stuff, only because it fits better in the box as opposed to keeping it in a hard piece of luggage. So I've got all of my snowboarding clothes and my helmet and all of that up front, and my wife's and my daughter's clothes and whatnot. So everything that you see here is really our snowboarding gear minus the boots and some stuff that I'm going to show you what's in the trunk. But this box now, if you press it hard, I may have to use both hands. All right, this indicator says that it's locked. You close it. How awesome is this box? Now, box. I usually keep my key to the box here. Now, people tell me that the Land Cruiser doesn't really have that much storage. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm just a simple man, but check this out. Storage here, storage there, storage here. This is actually where I keep my sunglasses. You've got storage here. I did add this container right there, so this is new storage for my cell phone. You've got storage here. How much more storage do you really need? Anyways, so the car's dirty. Don't blame me. I do use it during the winter for my snowboarding and skiing adventures, but these aftermarket rubber mats have been performing flawlessly. They do cover the Toyota logo a little bit. I still have to cut it out here, but they actually spill over nicely. They're very soft. Highly, highly recommended. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I also added these plasticky, rubbery protectors because this area was exposed, and when you do use it during the winter, it is bound to be scratched. So this is super simple to install. Essentially double-sided tape, and it's perfect. I'm going to link actually both of these things in the video description for you. But in the back, my 2 kids are greeted with quite a lot of space, actually. My son still uses a booster, so this is what he's got. My daughter's got a lot of blankets here, some bags here. The cool thing that they really love is the fact that they can recline these seats. You see, you can recline, and yeah, they're super comfortable in here. What sucks, and I am going to remedy, as I mentioned in my previous video, no rear seat heating means that when you first get in the car, they are pretty uncomfortable. But if you're considering this car versus a 4Runner, this car has rear climate controls. So you can actually play with the temperature settings here. The 4Runner doesn't. Also, the 4Runner doesn't have as much leg room in the back. Storage, same as in the front, pretty decent if you ask me. I am not moving cattle. In the trunk, before I open the trunk, I do have to say that I was very excited about having this piece of glass open up because everyone told me how awesome it is to be able to open this thing up. I've used it twice. I don't know. I'd rather just open up the whole trunk. Of course, the second I said it, it's when I put my wife's bag in it through it. Check this out. This is how we pack. We've got some of our regular clothes here. We've got our boots, so my boots and my son's snowboarding boots, and my son's helmet, my wife's boots, daughter's boots, and one helmet. This is actually pretty cool, this little device. So a lot of times when we go up to Vermont, we stay at a place that's about 20-25 minutes from the mountain. As soon as we come off the mountain, we usually have dirty gloves, wet gloves, wet shoes, wet boots and whatnot. So I've got two of these devices. One I leave at the hotel. The other one I actually start in the car, because now with this car, you've got a regular household outlet, which you can use. And there's a little toggle in the front and you can turn it on and it dries your equipment as you drive home. Pretty cool. One other thing that I don't leave home without is fix a flat kit. I know I've got a spare, but if I get a puncture that's easily repairable, I will just do it on the fly. And I did do it once in the Tesla. It didn't leave me stranded because I had this thing, so it kept me going. But yeah, this is what it looks like to pack up your Toyota Land Cruiser 250 or Toyota Prado on a weekend skiing and snowboarding adventure. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really see the need for a bigger car. I did sit in the new Toyota Sequoia when I went to the dealer, and it's just massive. For me, at least, it's just too big for what it is. This, on the other hand, is perfect. It's still very maneuverable. And if you take this car off-roading, isn't it better to off-road a smaller, lighter truck than a heavier truck? I don't get it. I don't know why people are so hung up on the 200 or 300 Land Cruisers. Yes, I know they had the V8, but this four-cylinder hybrid has been amazing. And let's fast forward a couple of days and we're back from the trip. An 800-mile round trip to and from Vermont. First and foremost, the car performed great. Pretty decent gas mileage on the highway if you're driving like a normal person. With a roof box and big tires, that's a big accomplishment. But what is also a big accomplishment is the fact that I made it in my tiny Land Cruiser 250 Prado. A lot of you say that these cars are not big enough. Guess what? 2 kids, 2 adults, plenty of space, especially when you have the roof box. So if you're considering a bigger car, really think about what you're transporting. You're not transporting cattle, you're transporting humans and some belongings. And with good packing, I think you'll be okay. Now, we had a lot of fun. The kids had a blast, we had a blast. We do a lot of shredding like that. So it's always a lot of fun. What's not fun is having to clean the car after these trips. The car is absolutely filthy, inside, outside. There's not one part of the car that's clean, but you know what? That's okay, because that's why we got this car, to serve as an adventure vehicle, and that's exactly what we got out of it. I absolutely love driving this thing. It puts a smile on my face, and it's just the right size for my liking. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments about what transpired in this video, leave it down below. I'll answer every single one of them. If you're considering a car like this, hopefully this gave you an idea of what to expect when you're family tripping. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.